Good morning, Philadelphia! Good night, Tokyo! My name is RPGmo. It's the 4th of July, and nothing says America like dinosaurs. Red, white, and blue and dinosaurs should be the national animal. Anyhow, that rant over. I love dinosaurs, and I love Jurassic Park. It was my favorite book, my favorite movie, and something that I spent one summer watching about 15 times. It's not healthy, but still. Dinosaurs are awesome. They are cool. There's something completely different about them than any other animal. And maybe that they've been dead for so long, or the fact that we don't know all that much about them, but still. They are really amazing creatures, and I love them. So therefore, it's pretty cool that I was able to pick up Jurassic Park the game. However, after I picked it up, I realized that it came out to very, very lukewarm reviews when it was released in 2011 by Telltale. Not entirely knowing what to expect, I dove into this game and I found a pot of interesting things. And interesting does not always mean good. Just before I dive in, I'm going to explain my grading system. There are 5 categories. Each of those 5 categories is graded on a 10-point scale. Then they are tallied together to decide a game's final score. 50 being the highest, 5 being the absolute worst that can be achieved. Now, the story is one of the strong points of Jurassic Park the game. It follows Jerry Harding. Now, for those of you who don't remember, Jerry Harding is the veterinarian in Jurassic Park the movie. The older guy with the mustache who appears to help Laura Dern's character with the Triceratops. Yeah, him. If you don't remember him, that's okay, he had like 2 lines. So, it takes about 30 years off him, shaves the mustache, and he gets made the main character. Along with his daughter Jess and a few other various people, they follow basically the plot line surrounding the Barbasol can that Dodgson gives to Nedry, and Nedry puts the dinosaur embryos in and then attempts to steal them. For example, early in the game, you go and find Nedry's body in the Jeep, and you find the canister inside the Jeep. The storyline really isn't all that bad. It's not incredibly interesting, but it does well. It creates interest. You're interested in finishing the story. You're interested in seeing where it's going. This subplot during a beloved movie is actually a pretty good idea. It's decently planned out. It's not weird or off the wall or terrible or anything. It certainly would be a better movie than Jurassic World. Yeah, I said it. I didn't like Jurassic World. It was yeah. So, better movie than Jurassic World. However, the dialogue isn't all that good at most of the times, and some of the characters are pretty bland. I mean, Jerry's a decent hero. You can root for him, but he's not like a super likable hero. Jess, his daughter, is much harder to root for and actually pretty bland, and the other characters outside of Oscar and Dr. Sorkin aren't really even interesting. The characters ruin what could have been a very, very good story. There's no connection with the characters like there was in the movie. You just feel like you're dealing with a bunch of stock characters who are plugged into this situation. It's disappointing, but the story itself is still good. Gameplay has problems. Now, see, the gameplay is broken up into 2 main parts: QuickTime events and puzzle solving. Now, the puzzles are actually the more enjoyable part. A lot of them are alright. Some of them, like in Nedry's Clearing, or dealing with the roller coaster cars in Chapter 2 or 3, and trying to figure out where you are on a tunnel schematic. They're actually alright. A lot of the puzzles are pretty simple. Actually, all of them are quite simple, but they're at least enjoyable and rewarding to work through most of the time. I mean, the solution usually just takes a little bit of trial and error and a little bit of logical thinking. But they're all right. They're enjoyable, and a lot of times they're set in really cool locations. However, QuickTime events aren't. Sometimes it doesn't even feel like you're even making an impact on what is happening in the scene. Now, I'm going to bring controls, the control segment, into this part. And because they don't always match up. Sometimes I'd be hitting the right button and nothing would be happening on screen. Other times I would hit the wrong button 12 times and it would not negatively impact the character. However, a scene before, if I hit the wrong button once, my character is messily devoured by a Tyrannosaurus. It doesn't make sense. The difficulty curve is not well planned. Scenes range in difficulty. Some of the hardest ones are near the beginning, a lot of easy ones in the middle and the end and all over, and the last scene is completely impossible to beat. I had to wait for the game to lower the difficulty to actually finish the game. The last scene, which is basically just mashing down the A button and then jumping, it didn't work. It was too much A. Too much A's. There were you had to hit the A so much that I never even made it past half. It was not good. But back to the gameplay portion. So the puzzle's pretty good. Quick time events, some are rewarding. There's a really good chase scene in one of the herbivore pens where Jerry has to outrun a bunch of raptors, and there's some that might be good. There's one where the character Oscar kills a velociraptor with his bare hands, but it's too dark to see anything on screen. I mean, really, you get such a good scene, and then you can't see it on screen. It's very annoying. That would almost sum up this game. There's something good, something underneath, and it's just ruined by everything around it. Not impressive. Now, the aesthetics of this game, as in, like, the graphics and the sound, they're a very mixed bag. The sound is actually pretty awesome. I mean, the T-Rex sounds like a T-Rex. The raptors sound like raptors. The sound design is actually pretty good. The voice acting is alright. The voice actors do a pretty good job with a fairly weak dialogue. However, the graphics aren't good. The game, like I said before, is extraordinarily dark. It's hard to see almost anything that goes on the screen, even with the brightness turned up. I mean, I had the brightness up, but it was still a lot of times hard to make out things. The graphics themselves are actually pretty ugly, so it's not terrible that it's dark all the time. I mean, it is an older game, but still, it looks more like it was released on the Wii than the Xbox 360. So, bad graphics plus really good sound. The sound is really nice, I'm not gonna lie. But, other sides, menu design is actually a little bit complicated, as trying to navigate around the scenes is made hard because of some slightly unorthodox menu choices. The environments you explore are really cool, actually. A lot of them are very accurate to the original movie, and the ones that they added in later, the different parts that you see, feel like they could have been in the original movie. And that was exciting. That made it feel much more immersive. It made you feel like you were on Isla Nublar in this falling apart amusement park. Well, theme park, but still, it was very well done. But the graphics really dragged down everything else. Finally, the X Factor. What does this game do special? Does this game make you want to love it? This game? It does. It may not be a good game. It may not even be a decent game. But this game still wants you to love it. Though it may be disjointed between 4 chapters directed and designed by different people who only seem to be communicating with each other by Morse code at 2 in the morning when they were all on caffeine highs. Yeah, it's a little disjointed. But still, this game, the way it builds anxiety, the way it interacts with the movie in little ways, allowing you to explore, the Jurassic Park computer system at one point in the game. Getting to see the right numbers on the Jeeps. Getting to watch the helicopters carrying the main characters of the movie to safety as you progress. Those are cool things. This game does the X Factor. It has it, or at least some of it. And this is what separates it from being just a bad game. Now this game, it's not a good game. It's not even a decent game, or it's, at best, meh. But still, it has something special in it, something that a lot of other games don't have. I don't know if it's just my biased love of Jurassic Park talking, or the fact that I think dinosaurs are freaking awesome, but this game, though it frustrated me, made me angry, and I sure swore and threw things, but it still made me want to like it. It made me want to come into its world. Sit down, watch the pterodactyls fly overhead. This game wanted me to like it. And that means a lot. It wasn't perfect, it wasn't good, but it was unique. So, if you're a big Jurassic Park fan, yeah, go out and pick up this game. It completes a saga. It completes a saga a lot better than Jurassic World. But if you're just looking for a good gaming experience, I'd look somewhere else. Alright, Internet. Love ya.